Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic-Con. AMC Theaters here, Hank and Sean, and we just got out of the Marvel panel. I can't contain my excitement from it, so I'm actually just gonna have to throw it over to you, Sean. What did you think of the Marvel panel?
It was unbelievable. We were really hoping that they would announce the entirety of Phase 4, which is exactly what they did. All of the things that are coming to movie theaters through 2020, 2021. A lot of familiar faces, sequels that we anticipated, but they kicked things off with The Eternals, a new franchise that people are gonna have to learn about. Kevin Feige, Marvel president, was on the stage. He referenced a name that comic book fans will love. He said it is very Jack Kirby. This fits into the cosmic realm of the MCU, where the Guardians sort of live, where Captain Marvel sort of lives now at this point. It will branch out and explore that corner of the universe. The cast that they brought on stage for this one was unbelievable. Huge. Richard Madden from Game of Thrones was the first one to be brought out, followed by Kumail Nanjiani, Salma Hayek was there, Brian Tyree Henry. They kicked it off, or they concluded the announcement of the cast with the biggest name I think anyone could have anticipated joining the MCU.
Total surprise she was there.
Angelina Jolie is going to be part of Eternals. That was a rumor, and then I had actually heard that she had passed on it, but then she surprised everybody by coming out. And I actually thought she seemed really geeked out about being part of the panel.
She was very excited. Yeah, my eyeballs can verify she was there.
Yes, she was absolutely
I may have looked at her intently.
So that'll be the November 2020 film. They actually skipped over May, and we'll explain to you what's coming in May of 2020 in a little bit. But then they also went with another new property for February of 2021. People have been talking about this film coming together, but they can confirm now that ShangChi is going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It is a martial arts type film that they're approaching, something totally new that they want to do in the MCU. You know, Marvel's introduced new characters that are familiar from the comics, but maybe not household names, like Doctor Strange, Black Panther, have had a lot of success with that, and I think that's what's going to happen with Shang-Chi.
Yeah, and I think they're also tying it back to some of the older movies with the 10 rings that was introduced in some of the Iron Man stuff. So it ties in, but it is all new, which is really cool, Then they jumped into something I am super excited about, Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. Ooh. Now, the coolest thing about this, not just that Doctor Strange is back, and not just that Scarlet Witch is gonna be in it, but they confirmed this is going to be the first scary MCU film. It's gonna be a horror movie set in the MCU. I can't think of anything cooler than that.
And that makes sense because Scott Derrickson, who did Doctor Strange, cut his teeth in horror.
Yeah, with Exorcism of Emily Rose, Sinister. He's got a great background in that.
Right.
Bringing it to the MCU is something I am so excited about.
And the big word that popped up during, none of these people really had footage, but they had great title cards, and the word multiverse came bursting out. And so I think that's where Marvel's going to really shift it into high gear.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of high gear, I couldn't have been more excited when Taika Waititi came out, Chris Hemsworth, and Tessa Thompson came out to talk about the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder coming to us at the end of 2021. I mean, you'd think that would be enough, but then they also brought Natalie Portman out to confirm that she would be the female Thor. So the Thor movies are perfect, and bringing Taika Waititi back is just the most amazing thing. I cannot wait for Thor, Love and Thunder.
That logo and the music that they played over the Thor panel gave me a sense of like 80s hair metal in the best way possible.
100%.
If you tell me that Taika is making an 80s Thor movie, I'm not saying that, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yes.
So that was really super exciting. Now they did end on a film that was coming up, and we'll talk about that in a second, the Black Widow film, but there was a huge surprise first that Hank wants to tell everybody.
I would say it'd be hard to say that I would be more excited about all this other stuff that we talked about.
Right.
But the thing I was most excited about is at the very end of the panel, they dropped the bomb, they brought Mahershala Ali out and confirmed that he is going to be Blade. Now, Blade is one of the coolest characters in the Marvel Universe. I don't care what anyone says. It has one of the original Blade film has one of the greatest lines in cinematic history. Get the bleep ready. Blade turns to talk about the villain in the film and he says, "Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill." I mean, that is great writing. You cannot get better than that. I cannot wait for Blade to come back to the big screen.
And what I love about the MCU is just the level of talent. They're bringing Mahershala Ali, two-time Oscar winner, agreeing to be Blade. Not very many studios can actually get that type of level of talent to come and play in their sandbox.
No way.
The big film, though, that they promoted was also Black Widow. We knew that Scarlett Johansson was going to be coming back to do a Black Widow prequel. We got to see some amazing footage from this. This was the only film that actually brought finished footage because they've been working on it. It was a brutal fight sequence. It really looks like the James Bond of the MCU, a stripped-down spy thriller. And not only that, but we got a chance to actually go on the press line and speak to the entire cast of Black Widow. So here are our interviews with them right now. the word Budapest goes up on the screen and the fans cheer, right? Does that mean this is the first movie to sort of pull directly more from the MCU?
Yes and no. There's definitely references to the existing movies, but there's also there's parts of the comics that are also some of the lore and some of the storylines and other characters that are in there. You know, it's interwoven.
Scarlett's been a part of this for a while. What advice did she give you in terms of getting used to being a new member of the Marvel Studios family?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know that she did give me any. Like, we just I think she's as excited to make and as nervous each movie as any of us. And we're all trying to make the best movie possible. So I think that, while she has a certain comfortability in the world, I also think with this particular movie, she's really wants to take it to another level. And so I don't think there was any sort of like, here's how we do it. It was more like, how do we do it? And I think that's what's really beautiful about this film.
I know the Marvel fans will want to know what Kate is bringing to the table as a new director in the Marvel Universe. What kind of director is she?
She's, I think she makes, all her movies have females at the center of them, all the 3 movies that she's made, and they're allowed to be very feisty and kick-ass, but also vulnerable and complicated, and they're gritty and edgy and cool.
Do you think that people need to be pretty versed in everything that happened in Marvel before this, or is this a standalone movie that a new fan could come to?
Oh, I think a new fan would be able to come to it. But yeah, I think, because it's not directly in line in a strict chronology, so I think anyone will be able to come to this and love it.
And one of those deals where the good guys might be bad, the bad guys might be good, kind of thing?
Friends might become enemies, enemies might become friends.
Exactly.
All right, that looked amazing. It was all amazing. I want your final thoughts now, Sean, on Comic-Con.
I loved it. I was really impressed by everything that we saw, from Terminator to the entire Marvel panel. So that is a wrap on all of our coverage here from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yep, so for all your movie news, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all the good stuff. Go to our YouTube page to check out our videos, and we will see you guys later.